When I first began practicing, and for many years, there was an intensity to my practice. I pushed myself. I sat for long stretches of time thinking that that would lead to good places. And instead, what it led to are aches and pains and frustration. And when I finally began to see the results, it was when I let go of that pushiness and I met myself where I was. And I began to practice actually in smaller increments of time, both on the cushion and off the cushion. I could, after all, take a breath. I could, after all, drop in for a short time and be more mindful until I spaced out again or got distracted or went on autopilot. But for a few breaths, for short bursts of time, I could adjust the view and attend from a kinder, wiser place. It was simply a matter of remembering, which brings us back to that word sati, that Pali word, which means remembering, to remember, to be mindful. That's the hardest part of the practice, is remembering to engage mindfulness. The Tibetan teacher, Mingyur Rinpoche, is someone that Bill and I have studied with, and he has a common phrase that he uses. He says, short practices many times. In other words, begin again as many times as you need. And this is such a useful teaching, and it is how we learn. We learn through repetition, through again and again waking up in the middle of a fight, waking up in the middle of doing the dishes, waking up in the middle of a sitting, and right there, taking a breath, feeling back into our bodies, and feeling into that posture of caring attention. Beginning again as if for the first time. And this is actually a proven learning strategy. Breaking practice up into shorter sessions over a longer period of time. It's said that humans and animals learn much more effectively that way than through longer sessions, like I tried to do at the beginning of my meditation practice. If we're studying for an exam, it's better for us to practice for shorter bursts of time than for staying up all night cramming for the exam. And what a beautiful way to reframe practice. It's so humane. It's so forgiving. We don't have to be perfect. We don't have to be pushy. We just begin again as if for the first time and steady ourselves. And with short practices many times throughout the day, on the cushion and off the cushion, we slowly stitch mindfulness into our life. In fact, I would say, don't worry about how many times you forget. Be more interested in how many times you remember. That's the ticket. Don't worry about how many times you slip back into autopilot. Just focus, refocus, and begin again. Short practices many times. One breath at a time. This is the way of practice. And it's very useful during times of stress. Very useful. And very useful for us as householders, because we don't have infinite times to sit and meditate. And we probably don't want to. We might have only 20 minutes, 10, 5, 1 minute. Make use of what you have. If you're standing at the counter cutting a tomato, and we wake up out of autopilot, we can deliberately take a breath. Feel the feet on the floor, straighten our posture, sense into breathing, and for a moment, let go of daydreaming. Drop in fully to the present moment and take a breath or two there. We can do this. And we can bring attention into that present moment and feel the whole body as it's gripping the knife. The whole body as it's gripping the knife. We can feel the knife as it slides through the tomato, or the feel of the tomato in the hand. Or we could flash on appreciating the tomato that we're about to eat. Oh my goodness. We can do this. We can begin again. Begin and remember. Remember, as if for the first time. Oh, right, like this. Let's not practice because we don't have time. Let's not begrudge what we do have. Let's make use of it. Let's make use of the smaller increments, the smaller moments of time when we do wake up out of worry and land in the present moment. Bring practice alive right there with a few cycles of breathing. Nothing fancy. We're just playing around with trying to remember to practice. We're just playing around with trying to shift into a posture of caring attention that cares about what's happening right now. Remember, this is a wind instrument. So take the harmonica out of your pocket and blow for a few minutes. With short practices many times, those squeaky sounds will eventually grow harmonious. Have fun. Appreciate what you're doing. Good job, my darling. Good job. Each time you do this, you're strengthening mindfulness. In busy times, in stressful times, all practice is bonus practice. Short practices will reset us, allow us to begin again. Every moment counts. So this morning, I'd like us to adopt this sensibility. Short practices many times, even in our sitting. So as we sit together, the mind wanders away, and we notice that, and come right back. Just come right back. Take a breath, reestablish the posture, open it up in there, and begin again. Tune that posture to caring attention.